This is Jesse again, and I'm not in my basement. In fact, this is where I get all of my actual wood cutting done. And this is my wood shop in my barn. Now, today I'm going to talk a little bit and review this Kreg Tracksaw. Now, I am not a paid spokesman for these guys whatsoever, but I'm going to give you a very honest review of what my thoughts are. The first thing is that I think every person needs a track saw, mainly because it is super easy to make a very straight cut. I will give that to this particular track saw, and more likely for any track saw. Now, I worked in construction for a very long time, or enough time to know that especially when it comes to cutting pieces of wood, mainly pieces of plywood, you want to try to do some square cuts relatively quickly. And I think particularly for the application of cutting quick pieces of plywood, you're likely going to find that a track saw is exactly the tool for you. This has a couple of really nice features to it. It allows you to go from 0 past 45 to 47 degrees. So you can make 45-degree bevel cuts if you'd like. But I would caution in the sense that when you buy these track saws, specifically from Kreg, the problem that I had was that I spent, about $450 for the saw, and I also bought the track. Now, I had actually purchased 2 tracks because I have a lot of lumber here that is about 8 to 10 feet long, and I really wanted the ability to cut long pieces of wood, particularly if I'm going to make something like a shelf or a piece of wood that I wanted to have an exposed edge on, and I really wanted a clean straight line across the back. And I think that that would actually work quite well. The problem that I have, and I think that Kreg needs to fix about this, is that when you buy the tracks and you buy 2 of them, you don't get the connector pieces. And the connector pieces are an extra $40. If you're going to buy a complete set and you're recommending that you buy 2 pieces to join together, sell the piece that you need to have with it. And my second gripe about this particular setup is that when you get this track saw and you get the track into place, if you don't have the track 100% flush across all ends at the exact same height, you run the risk, particularly if you're cutting a straight line, that at the end of the piece, if it dips down, this piece actually does lean in or lean out at the end of the cuts. And so my problem that I have particularly with this is that when you want to try to clamp this down, the edge of the saw on the back side extends over the rail on the side that is not cut. Therefore, you actually cannot even clamp this down except if you buy the special clamps that Kreg makes for these. So I do have a bit of a gripe on that as well. If you're going to sell the track, then sell the clamps along with it, because once I've completed this entire set, now I've spent almost $650, and I might, or more than likely would have possibly chosen to use a different track saw or a different company. So that's one piece about the set in itself. The second part that I'll talk a little bit is about the saw itself. So when you get the saw and you take it out of the package, much like me who's never had one before, I actually was following the instructions, and this took me about almost 2 hours to actually get this saw the way that I wanted it and the way that it needed to be to make my first cut. So the first thing that you had to do when you take this out is this actually has a chip protector that sits here on the front. Now, actually, this is really, really nice. I found it that it actually really does protect the wood. This has a small adjustable pin here that actually adjusts up and down depending on the depth of the wood that you're actually using. This can sit flush, and actually it does protect the saw from chipping, especially at the top of the wood when the saw comes up through it. But in the process of actually setting up this saw, you have to actually move this chip protector up and down in a position so that when you go through it for the first time, it's as flush as it can be with the saw itself. Now that in itself is not that big of a problem, but what I did find is that even after I had done the setup as they had recommended, what I found is I was still getting glue chips here and there everywhere. And you know, it's not that annoying, but like at some point that should be resolved to some degree. And it really depends on how deep you're actually making the cut that actually wears that chip protector down. The second aspect of this is the bag that actually sits on the back. Now this has two tiny little insets that allows you to connect this bag. But what I found extremely frustrating about this is that these two ends and the holes in which these actually set in this connection are two different sizes. So you can't just quickly line up these two pieces and connect them together. They should just have the same hole. The second kind of gripe is that this bag is way undersized. You will fill this bag up in literally 8 feet of cutting one rip on a board. So it's extremely inefficient. If you're going to sell a bag, it's probably not a very good application. And the third thing about this particular one is that it has different angles for which this can be set for the bag. And I find that every time I'm trying to click this together, this thing is moving around. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, like, these are just small things that just kind of annoy you when you're trying to work quickly in your shop and every day. But what I can say is that once you actually have gotten the saw set up and you set it on the track, as part of the initial installation and setup, you have to make that first rip cut across this track that is sold with the system. And that is to ensure that you have a zero clearance, which I can totally appreciate. However, if you're trying to line up two pieces of wood together, or one piece of wood together and add two tracks, there's still points at which, at some time in space, you're going to actually continue to keep chipping away at this rubber, because when you first engage this saw, it doesn't actually cleanly cut the very back of it. So I found it extremely cumbersome because you cannot actually cut all the way to the end unless you specifically slide the saw almost off of the track, which at that point is not really accurately making a zero connection with the back of the saw. So I do have a few gripes particularly with that. And my third and kind of more so gripe about this in particular are the knob adjustments that actually connect the saw to the track. Now, there's a point at which you have to put the saw on the track and then you engage it. But in this particular case, when you have a track saw and you're trying to actually use it, particularly if you're trying to make it a flush cut for joining boards, any wiggle room in this saw whatsoever is not going to create a perfectly 90-degree flush cut across your board. And so I don't understand why you can't have a connection point where you put the saw into the track and you simply click it into position so that it has no wiggle room back and forth. If you look at the track that comes with this particular saw, it's 90 degrees on both sides. So all you would have to have is a small inset on that side so that this piece could lock in and actually hold tightly. Because any wiggle room more than a 64th of an inch is going to show actually quite considerably on your boards. Now, I found that as actually my own experience when I actually wanted to connect and rip some of the pieces that I was making for the recent console that I was putting together. And I found it extremely annoying because particularly at the end of the piece, I was getting a small piece that I was either chipping away at or somewhere in the middle of the board where I might not have had the exact same amount of pressure and angle when I was pushing my saw across it. And it really just didn't make a very nice joint. Now, I know that they have some pretty good customer service. I haven't explored that yet. But in particular, I mean, this saw is probably good for your everyday handyman. But if you're really looking to actually do really nice joinery, particularly in putting two pieces of wood together, you really need a nice table saw. Now, I don't have one, and that's particularly why I moved on to this, because I do have a lot of functionality that I think that I could bring to my shop with this. But that's just some of the things that I noticed with this in particular. I really hope that there are advancements and some better packaging around this, particularly around some of those things that I just pointed out. But that's been my experience. I hope that's helpful, and at least it helps to point you in the right direction when it comes to using a new track saw.